Hello everyone, I am Fausto Carnevale, Italian accountant. Today we are talking about money, especially in losing money, how to avoid losing money when it concerns when we talk about taxes. And I decided to do this video because I wanted to show you a case of what happened to a client who contacted us. And then I would like to give you some tips to apply before moving to Italy, to Portugal, to Europe, because in this channel, we talk about all these benefits, NHR, tax benefits, NHR, expatriate regime. This time we are supporting people in every kind of tax problem, or let's rephrase that. Tax is not actually a problem, is tax cases, we can say. So we support people who want to retire in Italy, we support people who want to do the NHR in Portugal, the expatriate regime, the forfeit regime, the high net worth tax individual, etc, etc. The funny thing is that people contact us from more than 10 countries. Like we really receive a lot of questions, especially from people from United States, I must admit. But one time we had the pleasure to do a call with a woman from Australia, if I'm not wrong, who actually had a big mistake because her accountant, she was in the forfeit regime, and then she passed the threshold of 65,000. Now it's 85,000 this year. And do you know what her accountant did? It's funny to say, but he didn't do nothing. So she automatically moved into the worst tax regime in Italy. You don't know, because actually you don't need to know this regime, the ordinary VAT regime. So she contacted us and she said to us, I'm paying 50-60% of taxes. And we, in the call, we said but how could you? We said okay, don't worry now, you have to pay those taxes, but from now on, please. I remember I said this, please stop losing money. Because I really need to make her understand that she was losing money. And this is a common thing that happens when you move to Italy without a strategy of you want to do. In particular, this happened because the Italian accountants, they don't speak English. If you can check yourself, you try to find a Google accountant in Milan, even in English, Google it in English, call them, and maybe an employee reply, I don't know, people who is doing as an internship reply, and you try to talk in English. Try it now. Yeah, they may reply, or they talk like this, they talk, yes, let me speak. They don't understand. So the problem is they don't understand the first things. So when you move to Italy, you can start with a regime. So in this case was the forfait regime, forfettario. But then the accountant didn't move to the expatriate regime or open an SRL. No. They did the worst thing, the ordinario regime. And actually, the funny thing is that you can study yourself some tax regime, but then you need to double check with your accountant, especially if they don't speak English, because they don't do nothing. And the worst thing is not giving you a bad advice sometimes, because with a bad advice, maybe you can study yourself. No, the worst thing is it's when they don't say nothing. Imagine if you go to your doctor, they said, okay, use this medicine, okay, good, and then they don't say nothing anymore. So you continue this medicine until you die. Imagine this. It's an extreme example, sorry, but imagine that the fact that they don't say nothing, it's worse because you don't know what will be your case. I did a video 2 weeks ago about how to think when you're 45 years old. I think I will do another one, how to think when you're between 25 to 30 years old, so if you're younger. It's a good idea, we'll do this video maybe next week. But in this case, the strategy is the first concern. But not the strategy now, the strategy in how your regime will change in 5-10 years. Because first of all, the Italian legislation is very difficult to understand if you're not an Italian accountant. So it's already difficult for you to move to Italy when you don't understand. The second thing is those incentives that the governments are doing in Europe also, not always say in Italy, they last 5 years, 10 years, I don't know, but they have a limit. But the thing is, what you want to do after. That's why you need to have a first strategy program and a second and third strategy program, especially if you want to transfer the wealth to your children or to your spouse or whatever, your parents, I don't know. But the problem is in Italy, I see that you try to really, you don't see the value and you lose money. So when you don't spend money at the beginning, you don't invest. It's like you do not do a good university, you don't invest in yourself now, and you lose money in 20 years. If you come from the States, you know, you have a high-paid job, maybe you are getting more than 6 figures, no? Good job, good salary. Wait, but do you remember when you invested in yourself in your early 20s, maybe? So imagine in Italy, you're not investing in a tax strategy and you lose money long term. It's like, you know, the S&P 500, long term it appreciates. The same effect, long term you lose money like this. Unless you talk with an accountant. I wanted to do this video because I see that we are moving a lot in giving advices too specific, maybe. So specific. NHR, this case, impact rate regime if you are married, forfeit regime, open a real estate company. We are giving you a lot of information actually. We talk about Belgium as well. But guys, the basics are, please invest in yourself first. Like read books. Maybe try to read books on taxes in Italy if you find some. If you understand Italian, If you understand Italian, I can suggest you a lot of books in Italian. But please, try to understand. I was reading last day a document about the 2023 news of fiscal news and accounting news in Italy. So the forfeit regime, the ordinary bookkeeping changed, but this may not interest you. But we already talked about the forfeit regime. It changed between 65 to 85,000 in 1 year, etc., etc. So please avoid to lose money. To make this video short, in order to avoid investing in yourself when you want to move to Italy, try to contact an accountant, English speaking. Please, English speaking, if you do not speak Italian properly. Otherwise, you may say, but I speak Italian a little bit. Okay, but you don't speak, because when you speak with an Italian, they speak fast. So maybe you say, when you are in the phone with them, you don't understand that. Invest in finding one strategy, and also the good accountant gives you the strategy in the future, not the strategy in 6 months. And I said it to this lady, this woman. I said, oh my God, why didn't do nothing? She said, you know, but my husband was handling. And I said, oh my God, okay, your husband, but you could have spent 20, 30, 40% less in taxes. I was really sad. I was, oh my God, 20, 30, 40%. And she was making 6 figures. And a lot of people contact us, they are doing well economically. Yeah? So guys, please invest in the knowledge of the tax, in the knowledge, especially if you want to move in Italy. Because if you live in the USA, in the States, you call your accountant, you speak English, it's like this, you know, it's what minute you understand. But in Italy it's difficult, it's different and difficult. And I'm not talking today of the tax authorities control, because that is another small problem, small compared to this. The big problem is that you could have paid 10% of taxes, but you ended up paying the 40%. This is the problem. It's not the problem of, if they do a tax authorities check, what do they do? No, this is okay. This may happen. But the real problem is if you owe 100,000, you should have paid 10,000 euro of taxes. At the end, you ended up, as I said, paying 40,000 euro. I think that is worth losing money. And I wanted to remark this term, losing money. This is losing money, guys. So I just wanted to remind you to invest in yourself. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. I'm Fausto Carnevale, Italian accountant. And if you want to have a discovery call with us, a 15-minute free consultation call, please link in the description. Until next time, Fausto Carnevale, enjoy your stay in Italy and in Europe.